Hello everyone, I'm just doing a quick video on upgrading the print cooling fan on my 3D printer. Basically, the design that came with the magazine was very inefficient. You couldn't get it angled correctly or anything like that. So there was a modification. Someone designed that for using the print cooling fan, which has two fans there. So that's the main fan for the extruder, and that's print cooling fan. However, they're both next to each other, they're sucking each other's air. So I'm going to be upgrading it with a different design that was done by someone from the V3 user community on the internet. They've designed a new version that should work much better. This video is probably going to be recorded over a couple of days. It's Friday night now and I don't have everything I need to get it done, but I want to get at least part of it done, so I'm not sure if I'm going to show all the disassembly process and rebuild, but I'm going to do it on camera anyway. Might be interesting to some people. Okay, so you notice I've got ridiculously long screws on. That's because I needed some M3 screws. I couldn't be bothered to work out the length. I was like, I'll get them long. If I need to cut them down, I can. If not, then not. So I'm just going to start by unscrewing that. This is slightly annoying doing this because I had the hot end in pieces earlier. Basically, I was changing filament from the Protopasta Hi-5 Blue HT-PLA that I love to use to Rigid Ink black PLA. I was changing it mainly because I like having the blue for decorative prints, and seeing as a small function, I was like, I'm just going to swap it. So what happened was I heated it up, retracted the Hi-5 Blue and tried to extrude the black PLA through, but it wasn't feeding in. Tried it a few times, just wasn't working. So then I stripped down, so yeah, I gave up with keep trying to feed it in, and I stripped down the Strip Me extruder assembly off of the 3D printer, and basically I had a bit of filament stuck in the nozzle, so I cleared that, got it all put back together, and I thought, oh, I don't really need to check the layer height. Yeah, I should have done. So that was another thing that slowed me down a bit. So yeah, I just dropped the part cooling fan out of the way, and now I'm just removing the shroud. One great thing about it being a 3D printer is some of these parts I have 3D printed. It just lets you do it a lot easier. Some of these screws also seem to go on forever. Okay. Yes, instead of using one of these axial fans for the new part cooling fan, I have got a centrifugal fan. So it's got the blower there, blows out the bottom, which in turn will go into this part that I have freshly 3D printed today. So it assembles together, and then there is another bit that goes on, and basically, yeah, it all goes together. It's supposed to be press fit. I will see how it goes. I might need to super glue some bits, and I do need to screw some other bits on, but I'll see how that goes. It's going to be fun doing the fan. This is bare ends, and the existing fan's got a plug, but I should be able to sort that out even if I've got to cut a little bit and solder. I'm not afraid of using a soldering iron. Okay, so part cooling fan is that one. Basically on this print head, or this assembly, there is a little circuit board that's got the breakouts on here for the extruder stepper motor. You've got your thermistor cable, your heater cable and fans, so it's just a way of doing it. Coincidentally, in the magazine that came, or that I got this with, the fans on this were connected the wrong way around. There's a switch up there that either switches the fan on constantly or allows it to be controlled in software, and that is what you want for the print cooling fan. You want the extruder fan, which blows across there, keeping that part cool. You want that running full time. And the print cooling fan, you want to be able to vary in software, because there's different times in printing you need different speeds. So yeah, basically in the magazine that was incorrect, but that's just a quick and easy thing. It got noted on the V3UC website, which sadly won't be running after June this year. The person who currently runs it has posted up, I think it was today, showing the usage figures of the website, and in the past, well, pretty much the past 2 years, it's gone down. So we've all got until June to use it, and then it goes, which is a bit disappointing, but if it's costing him money and it's not worth the money, then I don't see any problem with him stopping that. Okay, so the next part I have to do is work out what goes where. Basically, one thing I can't do today is insulate the hot end. I do have ceramic cotton pad, which will go over the heater block. Just got to be careful because this is being printing this evening, so it might still be warm. But yeah, basically goes over the heater block, wraps around, and then I just need to use Kapton tape, which is high temperature tape, to hold it in place. I've got some arriving tomorrow thanks to Amazon. So when I get that, I can tape that in place, and it should be good. You notice I have got filament sticking out. It's because I turned my printer off and started disconnecting this, and then thought I need to take the filament out, so I just cut it. Then when I connect it all up again, I'll just extrude that out and start. Just gonna have a little talk about some of my other videos at the moment as well. I will be doing a singing one very soon. I've sorted out the MIDI file for it, for my backing, because I've got the score. I'll be sorting that out, or I have sorted that out, and I just need to record it and, well, do a little bit of practice first, because it's been a while since I've sung that song, and then I'll record it. I'm considering doing a little review of the microphone I use for recording the singing. It's the Line 6 Sonic Port VX, which at the moment I'm having some problems with the guitar input on it, but Line 6 have a support ticket open for me, so I'm going to see how that goes. But anyway, that's the topic of another video. Okay, one thing about 3D printing stuff is I've done it all in the same black rigid ink PLA. I love this stuff, it's really good. So this, got to try and work out how it all goes together. That screws on there, then that screws on there, then that goes on there. That's good. Okay, so let's stick those there and there. I should have expected something like that to happen. But anyway, this is part scrounging nuts from the old. I do have M3 nuts and stuff lying around, but at the moment I'm not sure where. There we go. So I need to, yeah, that's probably the best place for it. So I need to, I'm going by the designer of this now, they've done it. I'm using two different designers' stuff. There's a side plate that I'm installing at the moment that allows for future things to be added on, like potentially adding I'm trying to think what it is. Yeah, potentially adding a Z-height probe, which I'm considering. I'm not sure how much more I want to spend on this printer though, because it is cheap. Well, ordering it or getting it for a magazine wasn't the cheapest, but you get the experience of various parts of the 3D printer. So in that way it was nice, but in other ways it's not the greatest, and for the same amount of money I could have bought a better printer as a kit. So when funds allow, I'll be getting a different printer, a better one. I'm looking at the Prusa i3 Mark III, which has got some nice features on it. I'm not going to go on about that at the moment because it might be a while before I order it. Knowing my luck, the Mark 3.5 or Mark 4 will be out just after I order the Mark III, so it's not an urgent buy. I'm not going to be getting it in the next couple of weeks sort of thing, so that can wait a little while. Okay, so basically what I've done there is just screw a couple of bolts on the fan. That is for mounting Z-height, or if you're American, the Z-height. I do watch a lot of American YouTube channels on, well, I say a lot of American channels. For 3D printing, the main channels that I watch on YouTube are Thomas Ladra, he's German. I watch Maker's Muse, which is Angus, he's Australian. I watch 3D Printing Nerd, that is Joel Telling, who's American, good channel. And I watch Joe at 3D Maker Noob. They're all good channels that, yeah, they're really good. Also Barnclay's Nerdgasm, he does some 3D printing and some computer stuff as well. So it's a good channel. Anyway, I just found out that those screws that I put in on the bottom of the fan are too long. So 15 minutes this video has gone so far. I'm going to call it quits on this video. I'm going to do some bits now off camera, and then tomorrow the plan is that I will finish this video off and it'll be a miraculous, bam, this happened overnight. But basically the stage I want to get to is to have that side bit in place, and then this is going to be fun because there's wires everywhere. Then I want to get this in place, and it should all like sit together nicely. Then when that's done, I can get other bits mounted. Oh, there's a nice little cut out there for wires to go through. But yeah, get that done, and then the fan then sits on there, and the fan duct sits underneath. But yeah, it's going to take a little while to get to that point, which isn't really a problem. Hopefully once it's all done, it prints better than it has been. I mean, it hasn't been printing badly. The old shroud I put on was good. I did chip it recently. It got a bit hot and I nudged it with something and a bit broke off, so it's like, But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, that's enough of tonight, and I'm not going to sign out tonight. I'm just going to, in a second or so, or a couple of seconds, you're going to see the next part. Due to the magic of video editing, the next part is now here. So basically what I did overnight was I got the side plate on, brought it in place. That's just a spare nut that I found. Just had it lying around, so I put it there for safekeeping at the moment. I've got that on. The fan, if you just see in there, it's got heat shrink over the cables. I had to cut off the plug, solder on. And it's currently Saturday afternoon. I'm just waiting on some screws to arrive from Amazon. I couldn't find the ones I needed, so I just ordered some at about midnight, and they'll be here today. Then when I've got those screws, the next part of the video will happen, which will be me screwing that on. It's just going to be 2 screws, one in each corner. One is a set screw going through on the top corner, and one will be a self tapper on that corner into the post. Yeah, that hole has got a post behind it, that hole's got nothing behind it. That'll be on. Then I'll get this part, and then it'll be setting it to the right height, which is where I think the super glue might come in. I think I'm going to have to find the height, get it right, super glue it, and that'll have to do. I am using a longer heat break in there, the little tube with the PTFE liner. The one that came with the magazine was a bit short. Something happened to it, I can't remember what, so I ordered a new one, and it's longer, so I lose a couple of mil printing. It's not really an issue. I don't do anything that massive because the printer itself isn't massive. One thing I have done today is insulated the block. That is the ceramic cotton I showed you yesterday, and I just use Captain tape to secure it in place. So the next thing you see will be everything screwed together when it's working, and then I'm not going to do any testing on this video because it's long already, but I'll do another video shortly of just doing a quick test with it once it's all reassembled on my printer. Anyway, next thing you see is going to be the finished article and a little bit of talking then. For this last little bit you don't get to see my face. I'm just going to show you what I've done. So as you can see, the hot end assembly has been mounted back on my printer. Let's see if I can get it to focus. I had to use super glue on it to hold everything in place, but I think that's everything about right. I just need to level the print bed again and then do some test prints. But yes, it's all installed nicely. Just need to connect it to my laptop for doing the bed leveling. But yep, that is the little project complete. I need to put the lid back on the 3D printer, put the surround back on, and then move it back into where it normally goes, but I brought it out to get this fitted. Hope you enjoyed watching this little video.